Caches are actually pretty important to know. Let me draw another picture for you guys. We'll draw three circles here, and then we have this database, and then we have the user, client, and we have this cache. Okay, so if I wanted to access data from this database, say I'm looking up car brands, and this database is in Hawaii, this database is somewhere in the middle of America, I would need to access data all the way to that database, which would take some time, network latency, and then this database would maybe it's storing all the data as a list because they have someone who didn't watch this video and they're storing everything in the list. So it needs to go through the elements one by one. So it'll take some time to find what I'm looking for, and then it'll come back with my answer. And then the next time I try to access something, it'll go through that same network latency, and then it will take some time for it to process, and then it will go through the client. Here we go. So what this cache is doing is before, if this is implemented, if I want to fetch some data, it'll check this cache. It'll be like, hey, this is data in the cache. No, it's not. Okay, let's go to the database. We'll grab everything that I'm looking for, but then we'll also grab some other data that might be useful. So then it'll take a little bit more time in order for it to grab that data. It'll come back to this cache, and it'll store what I'm looking for, and also it'll store the other things that it thinks that I might need. Say maybe I'm looking for Toyota brands, and then it sees that I'm looking at Asian car brands. It knows if you build this cache in here, if you build something that's optimal, it'll hopefully grab something that I'm going to be looking at in the future. So then it'll come back with the data that I want. And then since it stored like a bunch of the data within here, then it can just access this cache and it'd be like, hey, you have a cache hit. So let's bring that data back. And then we don't need to go through the database, which it has like all the data stored on there, everything stored in lists, and say this cache is holding just a few select car brands or data that I'm probably going to be accessing, and then it sends that to the client. Okay, so this cache here just speeds everything up.